And thank you for joining us. Let's wait for another probably 3 to 5 minutes and then get started.
Preeti said, great way to wrap up the week. Thanks. I think so. I think this is going to be fun. Welcome, Renata. Welcome, Stephanie. Oh, I like your paintings in the background.
Thank you. Yeah, paintings and prints, and some of this is like fabric art too. So, yeah, just try to have an interesting background.
Awesome. Richard, what's next to the globe in your background behind you? Nice.
I don't know if it's in tune.
Are you gonna? Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and now I can put that back. I started trying to do that during COVID, and then we had, we had like Zoom meetings and everything where people were trying to stick together, and they saw I had the ukulele, but I'd never put it up, and I said, I'm going to put it up, and I didn't put it up for 4 more years, so now it finally is at least up on the wall, so sure.
Awesome.
Okay, I think we can get started. It's 4:04. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Um, our today's agenda is an introduction to our Data Plus Women US Northeast team. And then we have IRON VIZ talk by Bo McCready. And then we have a Jeopardy, Tableau Jeopardy jam by Richard Koehler and Don Harrington. And then throughout the session, please feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A or ask during our live Q&A session. And at the same time, obviously, Richard is going to tell this to us later, but you may have to put your Jeopardy answers in the chat. And then moving further, I am Karishma Darla, one of the co-leads of Data Plus Women US Northeast. I'm a big fan of visual storytelling, especially when it comes to turning data into something clear, meaningful, and actionable. I've been working with Tableau for the past few years, building dashboards that helps team make better decisions and actually enjoy working with data. What really got me into data analysis was a mix of two things. I've loved design and visual communication and also business and problem solving. The first time I saw someone create an interactive dashboard, I was honestly blown. That's what made me realize that even complex business challenges can be uh, explained using like simple and engaging and even in a fun way. A fun fact about me, I speak 7 languages, out of which I read and write 4. And apart from work, I love hiking and sailing. That's all about me. And then now let's meet our team. We apart from me, we have Don Harrington, Krishma Shah, and Ria Mehta. Along with that, we also have Madhuri, Neol, and Preeti on our advisory board. Moving further, I would now like to invite Bo to give us the presentation on Iron Viz. Bo, on to you.
All right, thanks so much. And I apologize for any technical hiccups here. I probably shouldn't say this, but I don't love presenting in Keynote and the way that the full screen presentations take over both monitors, so I can't see y'all. So we're gonna do the best we can here. Thankfully, there's minimal animations in my slides, so we're not gonna miss too much, but I'll toggle in and out as I can. So cool. All right. So thanks so much for having me, everybody. It's fun to be here on a Friday afternoon with a new group of folks. And yeah, today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Iron Viz and my experience participating in that competition. And so today I'm theming everything around 3 big ideas: discovery, design, and performance. And so before I get into all of this, I do want to say right away too, I tend to be kind of an improvisational presenter. I tend to kind of just like to take it as it comes, which is very antithetical to what Iron Viz is, as we'll talk about a little bit. But if you have questions, if you have things you're wondering, please just feel free to dump them in the chat. And I'd love to chat about them as I go. I don't have a defined flow here that we have to stick to, so happy to talk about anything you're curious about. And if the hosts on the call see something pop up and want to make sure I address it, that would be super helpful. So cool. All right. So with that, I'm gonna jump in to my slides. Okay. Do y'all see you see my presentation mode, don't you? That's better, right? Is this better? Good. Cool.
Yes, we do.
Cool. All right. Thanks. We'll go with this. Cool. So just a really quick background about who I am and what kind of brings me to this group today. So I earned my PhD from the University of Wisconsin, and I got it in a department called Educational Leadership and Policy Analysis. And I always like to mention that in these presentations because I bet a lot of the folks on this call do not, sorry, let me just make sure. Yeah, no, we're good. Cool. All right. Do not necessarily have, what you might think of as the traditional degrees to be doing this kind of work. So, you're going to meet people who've studied math or stats or whatever else, computer science. But there's also a lot of us who got to this community in kind of a more unconventional way. So I spent about 10 years working in urban education. My first week in my first, adult job, I actually got sent to do an in-person training with Edward Tufte in Chicago. And I know that people have, sometimes mixed opinions about his work, but at the same time, super influential in the data viz field. And I feel like, as some early 20s, getting sent for an opportunity like that was really a cool way to kickstart my career, and it really sparked my interest in this world in a way that I don't think anything else could have. So yeah, I spent about 10 years working in urban education in large school districts up and down here in Texas. I've been in the tech world since 2020. And currently I'm a data science manager in Austin, Texas. When it comes to data viz work, I've been using Tableau since 2012. Yeah, basically my whole career. I ended up building my career sharing data viz work online. So, when I first tried to kind of get out of education and do some different things, I didn't necessarily have the degree or the resume that was going to match your, stereotypical analytics jobs at that point. So definitely spent a lot of time building up a profile in Tableau Public and sharing work on Reddit and places like that. to kind of help demonstrate to people that I was capable of doing this kind of work. And I've also been a Tableau Public Ambassador for the past few years, and just kind of loved the time that I've spent, as part of this community. Just wanted to highlight a few of my favorite Tableau projects here quickly from over the past few years. A few of these got Viz of the Day from Tableau, but in general, I have really enjoyed using Tableau to push creative boundaries and find interesting stories to tell in big data sets. So I do a lot of stuff with sports, pop culture, music, film. Those are the things that I'm passionate about as hobbies, and so I like to bring that into my Tableau creative work as well. And along with that, my wife and I also operate a small screen printing operation out of a little studio in our backyard that we call Pie Chart Press, after what is objectively the best graph for communicating all types of information, as we all know. So she does a lot of really beautiful floral designs that sell much better than my little nerdy data-driven designs, but we each have fun, and we bring our stuff to this as well. But ultimately, why am I here with this group today? Come on, animation. Yes, it's working. Good. So I was able to live out my dream earlier this year of having a confetti drop GIF that I can use whenever I need to. I'll replay that. I have fun with it. But yeah, I'm here today talking about having won the 2025 IRON VIZ competition. So if you're on this call and you don't know what IRON VIZ is, it is the world's largest data visualization competition. At least that's how it's marketed. In the fall, there's a qualifying competition, and then that leads into the finals in the spring that happen at Tableau Conference. So in the fall, your goal is to build your best project that fits the theme. Tends to be about a month to build that. And then in the spring, we compete live on stage to build our best project in a 20-minute time limit. And these projects are scored on design, analysis, and storytelling. So a couple of photos from this year's competition. Again, if you haven't been there, just to kind of get a sense of what the scale looks like. Big room, 7,000 people there. Big screens showing your work as you go. Live commentary, hosts, breaking things down as it goes. So definitely a surreal experience. Both to attend as a spectator and especially to participate. So as part of the process of ending up on stage, I entered the qualifier competition this past fall. I used a combination of a data set from the Billboard Hot 100 that was curated by Sean Miller, in combination with some stuff I did myself using the Spotify API to basically break down kind of a history of one-hit wonders on the charts. So musical artists who had one song ever appear on the Billboard Hot 100, and broke down a little bit about some of the most famous ones and what they sounded like and what their chart trajectories looked like. So we found out at the beginning of January that right before the official announcement that I was one of the 3 folks who was going to be announced to participate. And from there, a few weeks later, we received an email with our data set. And so this year, the data set was wildlife strikes provided by the Federal Aviation Administration. So this is kind of a well-known data set in the community. So when this email came in, I thought, I know this one. I've opened this data set. I've worked with this before. And ultimately, I couldn't do anything with it when I had tried for fun. So knew I was in for a special challenge this time. So I'm going to go really quickly through a few of the things that I thought about from getting the data set to ultimately competing in IRON VIZ. So I'm breaking this down into 3 categories: discovery, design, and performance. So what do you do with data that you don't know or don't know very well? How do you make it look good? And how do you make it land? And given that this is a flight data set, the how do you make it land pun is very, very intended. So looking at the discovery phase, what do you do with data you don't know? I've tried to have a little pithy thing here that all starts with the same letter for each of these categories. So this one I have tortured into explore, evolve, and experiment. So I think for all of us, when we have a data set that we don't know, or at least a lot of us, are going to start with a similar process. We're going to bring it into Tableau, and we're going to do what I'm calling in this case drag, drop, and detect process. So I love looking at scatter plots to help me find stories. And so in this case, I just started taking the dimensions and measures in this data set, and I started dragging them into different combinations and seeing what popped out. And so one of the first things I noticed is I made this little scatter plot here. Our data set ran from 1990 through about 2023 for our complete data. And we had these fields for the date that an incident was reported, and then there was a cost field. And so right away, I plotted incidents over time, looked to see, what does our scatter plot of cost of the incident look like? And we had a big outlier at the top. And I moused over it and saw that this was an incident that happened in 2009 in New York, flight 1549. This was the famous Miracle on the Hudson incident. And so right away, we had a case where we have a massive outlier in the data set. It's a big part of our cultural memory. Yeah, big event at the time. Lots of pop culture dedicated to Sully and the Miracle on the Hudson since then as well. So I thought, okay, we have a story to anchor around here. So after exploring, I'm going through this fast. We have a short time together today, but from here, finding a story to dig into. From there, it for me is a process of evolution. So see what's already been said using this data set and what new things you can say. And so for me, a couple big things came to mind right away. One is that this data set has existed for a long time, and there are thousands of pages of government documents summarizing what's in there. So, a lot of the basic info that you might get to here, that story has really been told many times over by government documents that have done a good job of telling the basic stories, as well as other analysts and notable folks in our community as well. And on the right here, I have a screenshot of Kelly Martin's really pioneering work that she did with this project a number of years ago. A lot of people consider it potentially the most famous Tableau dashboard of all time. And so I wanted to figure out how in my work I could pay tribute to the work that Kelly had done, while also telling, kind of a new, different variation on the story. And finally, experiment. So can I do something innovative with this data? Can I figure out a way to present it that other people haven't before? Can I tell a story that maybe hasn't been told, or at least hasn't been told in this way? And so if you've been to IRON VIZ before, you know about those kind of like ooh moments when someone does something cool with a graph that pops on screen. And so I think during the development process, you're hunting for what your version of those can be. And so for me, there are a bunch of things I tried along the way. At the bottom here on the right, I have these radial charts that my awesome supervisor Clara ended up referring to as eyelash charts during our presentation. But these were, kind of a radial time series, but with some rotation involved. Just a little bit different, something I hadn't seen in this type of competition before. In the middle here, you'll see some spike maps that I played around with for so long and were part of my builds for IRON VIZ up until that final cut down where I just could not get it below 20 minutes and I had to cut one last thing. And this was the last cut. So I was really fixated on these for a while, using kind of some Mapbox custom styles and data densification to get these little points, but ultimately didn't make the final cut. And finally, marginal histograms with pie charts. So we've seen pie charts before, we've seen marginal histograms before. The combination of them is not something that I had really seen used before. So I thought it was a fun way to kind of push boundaries and hopefully tell an interesting story in a novel way. A funny thing about these marginal histograms with these pie charts in the middle is that I had really never seen anything like it in a published project before until the week before IRON VIZ, when, of all people, Andy Kriebel posted something on LinkedIn that was very similar. And I thought, okay, now everyone's going to think I took Andy's wonderful idea for IRON VIZ. But yeah, trying to push boundaries and do something creative and new with the visuals. So moving forward, thinking a little bit about design. This one I'm breaking into the 3 categories of inspiration, iteration, and intention. So for inspiration, it's kind of exactly how it sounds. Look at past IRON VIZ winners. We have Chris's work and Lisa's work on screen here. One of the first things I thought of was those little plastic pilot wings that kids get when they go on a flight. I have 2 little daughters, so resonates with me, and I thought, how can I bring that into my design somehow? I looked at vintage airline advertisements to see, like, what do the fonts look like? What do the colors look like? What are just kind of what some of those style inspirations might look like. Yeah, of course, spending a lot of time with Kelly's work and her writing about that work as well. So yeah, I guess it's kind of a process of collecting an inspiration board and thinking, okay, if I were going to do my own spin on these things that have worked, what would that be? And ultimately, for me, I got not only some stylistic inspiration from other folks, but for me, it was also very important to call out Kelly Martin's influence on my work and really so many of our work, very intentionally. Not just to reflect it in the design, but actually to devote part of our final presentation to recognizing that and how important she was. So my subtle nod to Kelly within the design itself is I took her kind of iconic splat icons from this dashboard here, and I pulled one of them out and traced it and turned it into the yellow burst that you see here on the navigation bar at the bottom of my project. So intentional homage there to one of my biggest inspirations. And iteration. My project had this fun little cloud mascot. It started as a little splat, then it became kind of a storm cloud, then it was this cloud but a little sleepier, and then finally we ended on the happy version. So I know we all iterate in our dashboard designs, but there was a lot of Figma iteration for me too. My first draft of the project on day 1 when we got the data set, I had everything organized around times of day. I had this like dusk, morning, afternoon, night layout. Ultimately, the project went in a totally different direction, but that was version 1. And then version 2, I tried to make headers inside what I thought was invoking pilot wings at the top. And then I showed that image to people without the text in front of it and without any context. And the answers I got ranged from that looks like the Whataburger logo to that looks like a golden snitch from Harry Potter. And so I thought, okay, the pilot wings aren't really hitting. Let's try something different. Moved on to this kind of pale blue background, a little more of a sky blue look, different fonts. We're starting to get closer and closer to the final design here, but still a ways off. And then this version, the near final version, where I was kind of using this dark blue color and having some frames that looked this way, almost there but not fully dialed in. Ultimately decided to just go with that full black background to maximize contrast, and ended up with something that looked like this. So intention is another thing I want to touch on briefly. My entire project has only 5 colors in it. And every time that color appears, it has a consistent meaning and purpose. Not only that, but also all of these colors were checked against accessibility standards, against color blindness simulators, to make sure they were going to work all right together. So these salmon and orange colors in my final project, every time you see them, they are indicating an era of time, pre or post Flight 1549. Anytime you see red in my project, it is indicating an incident with serious damage. White is, text or kind of the basic parts of the graphs that are, not designed to be highlighted. And blue is there for layout elements. So 5 colors, each one with a consistent narrative meaning. The kind of thing that may not be noticed during a presentation, but as someone is spending time with the project, we're easing that mental load just a little bit more by kind of, having them always know that the same color is always going to mean the same thing. And also, if it's in the final build, there's a reason for it. I do have a little goofy cloud character in my project, which a lot of people might think is, a little superfluous. It's definitely noise or could be considered chart junk. But, it's there to tell you that there's something to interact with. So it's not just there to be a fun mascot. It's there to draw your eye to it and say, hey, there's a filter here. There's a parameter here. Like there's something you can do. I used the splat icon inspired by Kelly, but it's not just there as a decoration. It's part of a progress bar that lets you know how far through the project we've navigated. And finally, there's plenty of negative space in the build. So you'll see a lot of black background here in my work. There's we didn't try to fill every pixel of the screen with data or information or text, but we wanted to allow the graphs to really stick out and give it some room to breathe. And I'll go really quickly through my performance section here. How do you make a project like this land? I'm characterizing it as succinctness, spark, and sentiment. 3 minutes to present a dashboard is really not much time at all. So you have to aim for an immediate hook, a way to connect with the audience, and really ideally one-ish key takeaway point. Really the big point I wanted people to walk away from my project with was, hey, there have been a lot of safety developments since the Miracle on the Hudson, and we really shouldn't be that nervous about flying home from a conference. And finally, practice, even if you don't like to. I like to be an improvisational presenter. I like to roll with the punches and take things as they come. But when you have a 3-minute time limit, it doesn't work that way. You got to be really, really concise with your words. Spark. Bring energy to a big, echoey space. That is a huge room. I don't know what it's like in the crowd this year, but on stage, it's very, very hard to hear really much of anything that's going on. So have to bring a lot more energy than you're used to. Try some humor, even if it flops. There's a long history of jokes in IRON VIZ presentations that maybe didn't land quite the way all of us hoped, but I think it's part of the process. And finally, be a real person. I think all 3 finalists this year were themselves during their presentations, and I think that made a big difference. And finally, sentiment. Help people see themselves in the data you're presenting, help them feel something, and also respect the people who came before us. At the end of the day, what we're seeing on screen is, a bunch of blocks of color and numbers and graphs, but all of us have huge human stories behind us and networks of people supporting us. And ultimately, this is data about people. And so helping the audience see that connection, I think, is really important. So at the end of all of that, the result was, thankfully, I ended up coming home with the trophy this year. So there's a little cash prize along with it, as well as a charitable donation that I directed to Girls Who Code this year. Again, I have 2 daughters, and it's very important to me that people feel like they have opportunities and pathways in a field like this, really whatever their background or their identity is. So to wrap up, I'll just note, please check out the other IRON VIZ final builds. They're fantastic. Ryan and Catherine are fantastic people who did incredible projects. Just truly a top-notch competition this year. Can't say enough good about them. Get inspired on Tableau Public. If you're not already there, subscribe to Viz of the Day, go check out cool projects, and figure out what you want to do when you make something awesome. We all started from nowhere. We were all at a place where we had never built a dashboard before. We didn't know what Tableau Public was, but people do really, really incredible stuff, and I hope everyone on this call wants to do the same. And finally, stay in touch. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter. Have a new website that I launched after IRON VIZ at boknowsdata.com. So yeah, I'd love to stay in touch and hear from you. So that's what I got.
Thank you so much, Bo. It was really inspiring. Witnessing you compete on stage and wondering how you were able to design so quickly to now knowing actually how you created those design was quite inspiring. And I love the detailing that you spoke about, like checking if the colors were accessibility friendly or using the white spaces to detailing, like the minor details, like selecting those icons to. I love the triple S approach, that is succinctness, spark, and sentiment. I'm definitely taking some things home from here today and trying them for myself. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Moving further, I would now like Richard to take the stage and talk more about, continue with the Jeopardy.
Sure, thank you. Bo, very inspired by your talk. I, like you, started my career with a PhD, but I was in chemical engineering. So it's interesting. I want to say I haven't met anybody that came to this from wherever you would come to this from. We all come from everywhere, so it's interesting. My early research has always involved large data sets because I was doing science, we were optimizing, we were figuring stuff out. Engineers always optimize things, visualization and data-driven decision making. And so then I've used Tableau for about 15 years. That led to me Tableau user group, which let me meet some folks at JP Morgan Chase, where I am. And so literally Tableau got me this job and role that I'm in. So I'm always grateful to Tableau user groups and all that kind of stuff. It turns out that my knowledge, my love of knowledge shows in my desire to teach other people. So I love doing that mostly internally in my role. And finally got to be one of my dreams, which was to be on Jeopardy. So I'm a one-time Jeopardy champion, where I finally got to play a data scientist on TV, because that's how I had them introduce me. So I have my bona fides because it was on TV. You could probably use that in a Wikipedia entry if you really wanted to. If you don't mind, Karishma, let me share my screen and then we can talk a little bit about how we're going to approach this. So give me 2 seconds, folks, to make sure this is working. Okay, good. And let's make this, let's screen. Perfect. That looks good. And we'll get going. So what's going to happen here is we're going to use the chat. And so when you know the answer, say what team you're on and your name, and then I'll call on you, and then we'll be able to credit you for this. I do want to say we want to have some fun today. Learn some new things, maybe. You're all Tableau experts, or maybe you're not. So some of that's in here as well. We're going to also learn about some data and other things. I do want to thank Dawn Harrington, Karishma, and the other leaders of the Data Plus Women Northeast for inviting me. I'm very honored to be here. Excited to be able to present at your talk. So thank you so much. I do want to thank Sid Sethongfet for the original Jeopardy dashboard that you're seeing. And Dawn and Caitlin Crawford, a colleague of mine that's in Information Lab, worked it over, helped with clues and other things. So I do want to thank them so much. So this is for fun and learning. So I'm okay with you having Tableau Desktop or Tableau Public open, because that might help you answer these. So we're not like, it's not super competitive here. We just want you to be able to like, oh, I knew that answer. You might even want to have a search bar open, but I would say it is a little more fun to figure some stuff out for yourself. So try and do that first, but I don't want you going, oh, I wonder what the ever answer was, because we do want to learn for doing this. We have teams today. So as I said, when you, to get called on, first enter your team name and your name in the chat, and then I'll call on you. You can enter your answer. I'll do my best. It worked on a Zoom meeting at my work, so hopefully we can make it work out here in the world. So good luck. I would do a whole introduction of teams, but I don't know anything. So now entering our studio today are our contestants, teams 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think. So let's get started here. Our categories are blank canvas, questions about the Tableau canvas. Charts, we could talk about your favorite charts. Data plus women will be questions about women data scientists and statisticians. Data links and connections. Can't do anything unless you connect the data, so we need that. In the know, maybe some of your favorite Tableau folks will be on here. And then where my data fam, some of the things and rituals that we have that help us learn about that. So I think we can begin. Dawn, I have a question. Is there a team 2?
Yes, it's not letting me paste. It keeps saying it's blocked. So Sudha, Gina, Ghana, and Bo, you are on team 2.
So do your best. Just say team 2, team 1, team 2 in your name, and you go for there, and that'll be good. Okay. And again, just for fun. So the way I see this, because I have some folks on, I'm going to say, Raya, what team are you on? Raya's in team 4. Raya, do you mind just picking our first one so we can get started?
Yeah, I'll go with 800 for Data Plus Women.
800 Data Plus Women. Katherine Johnson's contributions to NASA are featured in this book and movie. Okay, I see team 4 Renata answers. Oh, Raya is saying 4. Okay, Hidden Figures. Let's click that. Player 4 and Hidden Figures. That's correct. Good job. Correct, you got it. Okay. Who was that answered? It was Raya, I think, first. I'm trying to see. Or was it Renata? Renata. Renata, pick something. Type it. If you can. Renata picks charts for 600. Let's see what we got. Tableau ambassador Will Perkins will always refuse a slice of this chart. Sorry, Bo. Team 4, Renata. Or wait, Preeti, I think you were in first. Go. What do you got? Oh, Preeti, you're saying 3. I'm sorry. Pie chart. Submit. That's correct. Good. That's the one. Preeti, where do you go next? Do your team so I know. Actually, I may have given your thing to team 4. So go ahead. Who is next? Preeti, give me a question. And tell me your team so I get that right. In the know. And tell me your team so I know. In the know 400. Let's see where we go here. Jumping around. Not quite boiling test tubes, but some mad science experiments. This lab has helped for Tableau and other tools. Information Lab, CERN, Fermilab, or Bletchley Park. Team 3 is in with Roshni with team 3. What'd you say, Roshni? I lost you. Information Lab. Yes, that's correct. Click. I'm running this off of Tableau Public, just so you know. Okay, where were we? Roshni, give me another one. Give me the next one. Charts for 400. Not just for dancing. This chart is best for a continuous variable over time. Roshni says line chart. Submit. Oh, that's correct. Okay, we're moving along. Roshni, pick again. Charts 800. And folks that are helping, if I'm missing the right ones or the next person, help me out here. So charts for 800. Unlock your performance with this chart. KPI, XYZ, ABC, PIK. Oh, Bo in for team 2 with a KPI. Submit. Oh, correct. You got it. Bo, pick the next one. Thank you. In the know for 800. Information is handsome. Information is pretty. What's that useful visualization website? Information is, oh, Roshni, team 3. Beautiful. Let's go do that one. I've clicked properly, team 3. And information is beautiful. And I honestly think that. So that's good. Roshni, pick again for me. In the know, 1,000. Let's see who we know in the know. Not just bedtime stories, this website highlights great visualization examples of all types. Mother Goose with data, Hans Christian Andersen, good night data, or storytelling with data. Team 2 picks 4. Team 2, and that was, sorry, Sudha. Storytelling with data. Although somebody should write a good night data, probably me. Actually, I should probably write that. Okay, Sudha, will you pick again for me, please? And I hope I'm pronouncing people's names correctly. I apologize if I'm not. Blank canvas, 1,000. Oh, going right for the big ones. Let's see. Please make a note of it. Call out a point in a line chart or a small state in a map by adding this. Team 1, Preetha, picks number 2, and annotation. Let's see. Oh, that's correct. Yes, that's right. Okay. What was that? Preeti, pick again for me. Thank you. It's very intense here. We're very focused. Charts for 1,000. Blank brained and a chart with 2 measures and lots of dots. Oh, team 1 says 4, a scatter, and that was Preeti, although Bo probably would have gotten this one, I'm pretty sure. Team 1, right? Scatter. Yes, that's right. Preeti, give us another choice. Data plus women 1,000. Oh, going for the hard one first. Okay, let's see what we got. An early pioneer in data analysis and statistics, she nursed her patient data into a new form, the rose or polar area figure. Who's first?
I think James.
James was first with team 1, and he picked Florence Nightingale. Submit. That's correct. And you'll notice there were a bunch of other nurses on that list there, just to confuse you. Okay, let's continue. James, pick another one for me, please. Thanks for joining us today. James picks In the Know for 600. Tableau Tim, Andy Kriebel, and Tech Tip Girl Dawn Harrington use this video service to show and teach the best Tableau techniques. Vine, YouTube, public access television, or animated GIFs. James picked, James. Team 3, Roshni is in with 2. Does anybody even remember Vine? Come on, really? And Dawn, wouldn't you like a public access television show for your Tech Tip Girl stuff? I think that'd be awesome.
I think so. I think so.
YouTube. Good. That's the one. Okay. That was, it was Roshni. Will you pick again for me, please? Roshni, where my data fam for 1,000. Tug on my heartstrings, make some Tableau friends, and maybe meet an ambassador at these meetings. Oh, a lot of stuff. Preeti, team 1 says Tableau user group meetings. Tableau Hangouts, Tableau Friendster, Tableau GeoCities, but she's picked Tableau user group meeting, and that is correct. Continue. Good. Roshni is a GeoCities fan. Tableau GeoCities, it could have happened. We just we're in a different timeline. It's the way it is. Roshni, pick again for me, please. Where my data fam for? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Was it Preeti that had to pick? I'm sorry if I did that wrong. I apologize profusely. Sorry. Preeti, where my data fam for 800? Okay. Not a private club. Show the world your stuff and share and see creative examples of dashboards by thousands of users. Okay, that was, let me just look. Where are my data? Wow, a lot of folks flying through. Is it Preeti? Preeti with team 1, and she comes in with Tableau Public. That's right. And there's another one, Tableau TikTok. Wouldn't that be fun? There might be a Tableau TikTok, actually. Tableau Corkboard, Tableau Private. That's like the special club in the back. You got it. Good job. And let's have, I'm sorry, it was Preeti picking again for me. Preeti is pretty fast. I totally agree. Preeti says, where my data fam for 600? This gathering of Tableau community occurred in San Diego this year. Suda on team 2 picked the Tableau conference. I thought Bo would have gotten in with that one, but that's okay. Submit. Team 2. Suda, pick again. That's good. I know, Bo. I can't type as fast. I just have to click. I think Suda, I'd like you to pick again if you don't mind. Blank canvas for 800. Thank you. 800. Text the details of size, color, and tooltips to this card. Preeti comes in for team 1 with 2 format. Oh, let's see. Submit. Nope, incorrect. Try again. After Preeti was team 2 with 2.
Then we have.
Oh no. Team 2. I'm sorry. Team 2. With 2. Sorry, that's also not going to be correct. Let me do that real quick.
Team 4.
And then team 4 is next. Sorry, I got to take away some stuff if it's not right. I apologize, but that's the way the game is. I blame Alex and Ken. Team 4 came in
Yes.
with 4. Right. Okay. Ria, I'm sorry. Submit. Oh, no. No. Sorry. Let me fix that for you. It's good. We're really giving this thing a marks. That's what I want. And then hopefully you got it. I apologize if I took away some stuff. Ria, let's go.
Charts
Yeah, it's
200.
the marks card. That's what I wanted. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ria, I think you were next. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Yeah, charts 200.
Charts 200. Let's go. Belly up to this most frequently used chart.
1.
Team 4 picks 1. Okay, there you go. Okay, I think that was Ria again. Do you want to go again?
No, it wasn't Ria.
Was it, who was it? Was it Renata?
Yes, it was Renata.
Renata, come on, tell me more. You were not crazy, Renata. I'm sorry if we implied that while we were trying to pick around. Give us your next pick. Data links and connections for 600. Spider-Man might use this type of data connector. Oh, Preeti is in with Team 1 with 4 web connector. Let's make sure we got Team 1 web. Submit. Oh, got it. Good job. Preeti, go again. Correct continue, as we say in the lingo.
I just realized I can come off mute and talk. So
Oh,
data
nice.
links and connection for 1,000, please.
1,000 for data links and connection. Cool. Excel is not this. Oh, okay. Where were Team 4? Who was in first? Was it Renata?
I made Richard put this in the
Yeah, that's good.
Jeopardy.
Okay. Hold on a
I
second. I lost it. Preeti data links connections. Then Preeti gave that. Was it Suda with 2? Team 2 and 4? No, that wasn't it. Who came in first? Be honest. 4 though. Team 4. I got a lot of 1s here. I'm gonna pick the first one. I think it was.
Might have been me.
Who was that?
Renata.
Renata. Okay, thank you, Renata. I'm sorry. Okay, Renata, and you're on Team 4. And what did you pick? Did you pick 1?
1, but also
Okay.
4.
Yeah, no, but Excel is not this. So all the rest, Excel is a calculator, Excel is a spreadsheet, Excel is running the world for sure. So yeah, Renata, will you pick another one for me, please?
Yeah, let's do blank canvas 600.
Blank canvas 600. Thank you for your patience. Be selective and slice and dice your data with items on this shelf. Okay, I saw Suda come in with 2 and 2. Are you sure? I'm sorry. A parameter is not this shelf. So that was, who was that? That was Team 2 and 2. And then let's go the next one. I get lost here. You guys are going fast.
It's 3. She chose 3.
Preeti picks Team 1 and 3.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for help. It's a filter. I do mean the filter shelf. And I will be honest, when I made this, I actually got to like remember really the names of all these shelves, because when I teach sometimes it's go put that thing on that thing. Nope, can't do that. You got to know the words, and it does help. And then everybody has the same thing. I think that was Suda that picked that one. No, Preeti, will you pick again for me?
No, certainly. Where are my data fam 400, please?
Where are my data fam? Bob Geldof would have liked this chance to redo a Tableau chart at the beginning of the week.
Okay,
Team
James
1
picked
says 3. And the younger folks can go look up Bob Geldof on Wikipedia. Okay, Team 1 and 3, that was, who came in first? Is that Beverly?
James.
James, will you pick again for me, please? Data fam 200. Build your Tableau muscles on hump day on this midweek challenge. Bo McCready says 2-2. Workout Wednesday. I bet you Bo has some pretty good Workout Wednesday guns. Yep, that's correct. Okay, Bo, pick again, please. Blank canvas, 400. Let's see what's happening on the blank canvas. Columns and rows, but no elf.
Team 2 said
2, 2, 2, 2, shelf. Somebody should make an elf on the shelf dashboard. I'm sure someone has somewhere, but with actual elves.
So
Go ahead again. I'm sorry, that was Suda. Pick one for me. Pick the next one. Blank canvas 200. Trying to clear the board here. Nothing can hold your creativity, but this Tableau object that could be horizontal and vertical. Team 1 says 3. A container. That is correct. Continue. Preeti, go ahead.
I always struggle with containers for some reason, but I'm going to go and pick Data Plus Women 600, please.
Data Plus Women 600. Sister Mary Keller helped develop one of the first computer languages still used in Excel. You might say it was very Pascal, Basic, Fortran, COBOL.
Preeti picked basic.
Who did? Preeti picked basic.
Team
Team 1, 3. Let's see what happened. Oh, wait. Did you pick 3? You didn't pick 3. Did you pick 2?
2.
Okay, sorry. Pick basic. Submit. Hey, we picked 6,000 for that. So we didn't get to see all the clues, but we had a lot of the clues. Player 1, which is Team 1 with Preeti and some really fast typers. So good job. Knew that. I hope everybody had some fun with this. Absolutely. Dawn helped a tremendous amount and some other folks. And I'm happy to always have some Jeopardy fun. You can tell I wore my hat for you and I wore my Data to the People shirt to do that. So
Richard was actually on Jeopardy. So the game show. So I'm throwing him under the bus.
The curse is everybody's like, hey, we're going to do a trivia thing. Would you like to do that? And you have to say yes. So, and it's perfectly fine. I love all that stuff. So thank you all very much for inviting me. I think, Karishma, if you want to open up for questions or we can have some fun. If you want to argue a question on the board or whatever, we could do whatever you like. I'm going to stop sharing if that's okay.
So James, Stephanie, Beverly, and Preeti, if you want to message me on LinkedIn and let me know your address so I could mail you some Tableau swag for winning. So James, Stephanie, Beverly, Preeti, congratulations.
Congratulations to all the winners.
No, thank you so much. And I just have to make a note that I am at least not a fast typer. I had Team 1 on copy paste. So I'm literally doing Control-C, Control-V, and just the answer. So that is how I went so fast. And the last question, I had no idea that the basic was answer. I thought, let me just play it, and it worked out. So
good job.
That's it.
Bo's like, that sounds like an IRON VIZ technique to be able to copy and paste and do all that stuff. I'm sure.
We do a lot of that.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm sure that happens too. So that's good. Good. Congratulations, folks. Take it away, Karishma.
Okay, before we move to Q&A, I would like to thank Bo and Richard for joining us today and making this session so much more memorable, giving us so much more knowledge and helping us have fun. Thank you so much, both of you. And then let's move to Q&A. If any of you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
I think I had a question for Bo. Bo, especially being a designer, and I have so many Tableau Public dashboards that are hidden. I never know when it's done because it's constant feeling that I can do more. Mm-hmm. When do you say that this is done and you can wrap up and publish to the world?
Oh man, that's a great question. I mean, I think that I guess for a Tableau Public project, I try to go in with a question to answer, and when I feel like I have answered it to my satisfaction, and then honestly, I try to just mouse over and click on everything, and I try to put my critical hat on and say what if someone is coming to this project to pick holes in it, what holes are they going to pick in it? And so like I try to kind of do that to myself. And I think all my years of posting on Reddit kind of got me fairly good at anticipating like what are the things that everyone is going to rip you apart for. And so I just try to anticipate those and like fix them in advance. And so for me, it's done when like I look at it and I don't see, oh gosh, like someone's going to say that's bad. And it's maybe not the most optimistic way to look at it, but I feel like that's like, I'm done when I feel like I can defend everything that's on the screen. I'll put it that way.
Yep. And Bo, just so you know, I saw your work first on Data is Beautiful on Reddit, and it was the birthday viz that you had posted. So yeah, and that word start gave me confidence to post on Reddit. It is a very scary place down there.
It is, but I'm glad that helped. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anyone else? I saw someone post a question on the chats while everything was going on, asking what is good data. Richard, do you want to like in one of your questions where you had data storytelling and all the options, you also had good night data. So someone asked, what is a good night data?
Good night data. Bo might know this also. I also have a child, so they're a teenager now, but I do remember there's a book that you read that's Good Night Moon, that you read bedtime stories for. So I was thinking of storytelling with data, which I actually think it's right up there, that I have in mind that is really good to talk about that. But I was just trying to be funny. It's painful sometimes to think of what would be some other fun books about data that somebody should write. So someday someone will have to write Good Night Data, probably me at this point. And Bo, I'll just post it to Reddit because that's where stuff like that usually ends up anyway. And have a bedtime story, but it would be about data, which might be fun. This is what Dawn and I do all day at work. Instead of working, we like kind of make jokes about stuff and mishmash, pop culture with our work is what happens.
And I just want to say, you never know who you're going to network with or how you're going to find roles. I met Richard playing Pokemon Go, so big nerd here. And through that network, I was able to find a position. So you never know. Always go for, events that maybe you wouldn't normally go to.
At our group company, we have business resource groups that are like some official ones that you might imagine, not like a Data Plus Women group, something like that. But we always pretended our Pokemon Go group was a business resource group. But I have to say, multiple people got jobs out of that because we'd be sitting there playing and we would talk about our work. And it was like, how do I fix this in a Tableau dashboard? How do I make this Ultrix thing work? My data is this or whatever. And so it's just about having conversations and meeting folks, I think.
Thank you so much for giving more information on that, Richard. And does anyone else have any other questions? Okay. Before we end the session for today, I would like, I just sent links if you want to know more about the sessions that we host. We at Data Plus Women US Northeast try to bring a new thing every time. We did Tableau Kahoot, and then we did just like a mini version of IRON VIZ, Visualize Her, and that's what we did. And then we also did a escape room. This time it was Jeopardy. Probably we'll come up with something new the following session. Follow us for more information, and thank you all for attending today. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you all very much.